13 hours ago, at the time of this recording, FIDE have threatened legal action against Magnus, Carlsen, and Freestyle Chess for trying to brand their upcoming tournament as a world championship. This is not a new topic. This is a back and forth feud that has been happening for quite a while now, but it did seem like there was some kind of agreement to allow players to compete in freestyle chess without being sanctioned in FIDE tournaments for it. Just quickly, here's a short breakdown of the Freestyle Chess Tour and everything you need to know about it. There is this really great chess.com article written about the tournament, which I'll leave a link for in the description below if you'd like to read it, but we'll just look at the dot points that I've written about the tournament. It was announced on March 18th of 2024 as the 2025 Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour. Any player with a classical FIDE rating of 2,725 or above are invited to play. It has a total prize fund of $4 million backed by German businessman Jan-Henrik Büttner. The tour will be held over 5 continents. In November of 2024, it was held in India. In February of 2025, it'll be held in Germany. In the summer of 2025, it'll be held in the United States. I assume that's the Northern Hemisphere's summer and not the Southern Hemisphere's, because in fall of 2025, it's held in Colombia. In winter of 2025, South Africa, and in 2026, it's held in Australia. So it's hitting all of the continents. That's essentially all of the important details corresponding to this current situation. To begin with, there was a pretty sizable back and forth between FIDE and Freestyle Chess regarding the tournament's existence.
Like FIDE actively wanted to, they were actually like going after players as well to get them not to sign with Freestyle, basically threatening them that they wouldn't be able to play the World Championship cycle if they played in Freestyle. So,
with FIDE initially threatening to blacklist the players that were playing in the Freestyle Chess tournament from their World Championship cycle in 2025. The two parties eventually came to a middle ground though, and Freestyle Chess was allowed to resume without its players being sanctioned. However, it does seem like there were some deliverables on the end of Freestyle Chess in this agreement, because recently Freestyle Chess announced that they would be branding the tournament as a World Championship, which they had not alluded to previously. And it's safe to say FIDE did not approve of this, as they released a statement on all platforms. We can read this statement together. It reads, "With regard to the recent communications from the Freestyle Chess Players Club, FIDE states the following. The International Chess Federation is the only internationally recognized governing body of chess, in particular by the International Olympic Committee, regulating all official international chess competitions. While we have always remained open to cooperation with private organizations and initiatives across the chess community, FIDE retains its supreme role with respect to the rules, titles, and ratings. FIDE's status and global responsibilities towards the chess community are distinct and non-negotiable. FIDE does not oppose commercial platforms, projects, or privately managed clubs, such as the FCPC, engaging with players in their own capacity. However, the attempts by the FCPC to present their project as a world championship are in contradiction with the well-established status of FIDE and its authority over world championship titles in all relevant variations of chess, including Chess 960, as outlined in the FIDE handbook. Moreover, the line of conduct adopted by the FCPC threatens the execution of players' existing contractual obligations towards FIDE. The steps taken by the FCPC project unavoidably lead to divisions in the chess world, and we remember all too well the unfortunate consequences of a similar split that happened in the not-so-distant past. Although the formal status of the 2025 Freestyle Chess Series has yet to be determined, FIDE wants to ensure that all players can plan their schedules for 2025. That is why, as a matter of goodwill to provide sufficient comfort to the players for the immediate future, FIDE took the decision to accommodate the 2025 Freestyle Chess Series in the calendar and to refrain from invoking relevant legal clauses in previously signed contracts concerning players' participation in the 2025 freestyle events. Nevertheless, FIDE retains all its legal rights related to the World Championship title and will be ready to challenge organizers and initiators of any series that decide to brand themselves as a World Championship, without the approval of FIDE. We are open to dialogue and looking forward to reaching a mutually acceptable agreement, provided that the governing role and its well-established authority of FIDE over the World Championship is respected by potential partners. Should such an agreement not be reached, FIDE demands that the Freestyle Series does not carry the status of a World Championship. FIDE will not hesitate to use all legal means against those who violate its rights, be it initiators, organizers, and/or investors of the project. As the 2025-26 World Championship cycle is underway, all qualified players are expected to sign an additional contract, which will include a clause indicating that the participation in any alternative World Chess Championships in any variation of chess not approved by FIDE, except for the Freestyle Tour in 2025, would lead to their withdrawal from the 2 consecutive FIDE World Championship cycles. As a part of the contracts, FIDE commits to running the cycle events at the highest level with substantially increased prize funds. The dates and locations of those are published in the FIDE calendar. Now, I made a video on the jeans controversy a couple of weeks ago, and I posed the idea that Magnus Carlsen wasn't actually banned because of his jeans, but his poor relationship with FIDE. Most people thought it was just Magnus being pretentious, but I thought it was quite obvious that FIDE wasn't going to ban their most marketable player over something so small, so I thought that something bigger must have been going on. This was the bigger picture, and I feel like that should be abundantly clear by now. A similar situation happened quite recently in 2023 when Chess.com tried to brand one of their tournaments as the Chess.com World Championships. FIDE opposed this, of course, and told Chess.com that all of their players that participated in the tournament would be sanctioned in FIDE events if they participated. For what it's worth, this is something that grandmasters sign up for. They sign a contract with FIDE stating that they will not play in any other tournaments that claim to crown a new world champion. Chess.com changed their branding to the Chess.com Global Championships, and FIDE was happy with this, and the tournament went ahead. The one thing I know a lot of people will be wondering is, why does it matter if it's freestyle chess? FIDE clearly doesn't care about 960 chess. The 2024 960 World Chess Championship, hosted by FIDE, was cancelled. Well, I don't think it's really about 960 chess. I think it's about the idea of another governing body growing a world championship brand that could possibly compete with FIDE. FIDE simply cannot compete with the financial backing that freestyle chess has, so it's a massive vulnerability to them. Of course, FIDE have a legal right to do this. Grandmasters sign a contract saying that they won't participate in other world championship events, but whether you think they have a moral right to do this is completely up for interpretation. I also think that 2 things can be true at once. Just because there are 2 parties in this situation doesn't mean either of them are completely right. I do, however, feel that only players competing in the World Championship cycle should really have a say here. I could give my 10 cents on this situation, but the reality is I'm never going to play in a World Championship cycle, so my opinion doesn't really matter, and I just want the best viewing experience possible. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this though. Does FIDE have a leg to stand on here, or is this just a power play to keep themselves on top of the chess world?